Hello and welcome back to Games Done Quick's Juneteenth marathon event. I'm your host, Sprinkle Theory. That was an awesome interview with Peas SMB, and as said hi, Ash was a host yesterday. So if you did not catch any of the runs yesterday, please make sure you head to youtube.com/gamesdonequick and catch some of the runs that you've missed. Peas will be a runner later on this evening. And just a reminder, your subs, your bits, your gifted subs, prime subs, all here on the GDQ channel go to supporting Games Done Quick HotFix, which provides year-round speedrunning content. Now, this next run and this next runner is definitely someone who has been on this channel before. They have been a part of these events. I'm very excited for this run. We have The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons, All Essences by Ryan Ford. Ryan, take it away.
Yo, hello everybody. So I'm back. Ryan Ford. Yeah, if you happen to catch the Mega Man X3 run yesterday, then yeah, well, I'm back again to fill out a bit of day 2 for Juneteenth Jubilee 2023. So hope y'all enjoy this run. So yeah, Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons, All Essences. Oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Okay, yeah, so all right, we got the timer started. I'm gonna count down from 3, 3, 2, 1, go. And yeah, there's quite a bit of downtime at the start. First, like 2.5 minutes roughly is a lot of dialogue, and I'm playing in Japanese because it's faster, because less text. Even though you can mash through the text like pretty quickly in either language, though. But yeah, I'm probably not going to talk about the story of the game, but there's a little bit of a way to optimize text mashing through talking to people. The big thing is that you don't want to double talk to anyone. And also mashing A or B will scroll through the text quickly. So I'm kind of just alternately mashing both buttons with each thumb, if you can see on the cam. So that's generally how I do it. I think people have different mashing techniques, but that's how I do it because I feel like it doesn't really strain out my hands when I mash like that. And yeah, generally I try to prioritize like hand health over anything for speedruns.
Yes, safety is important and health is important when we're speedrunning.
Exactly. Yeah, like from playing... I know you wanted to ask some questions about Smash Bros. Melee, but from playing competitive Smash,
yes,
there has been people that have had hand issues and like have had to either take extended breaks or just entirely like retire from competing. So it's been an ongoing like issue for like more than a dozen years, like as far as I can remember. So
I can only imagine. Yeah, there's some games that I have been looking to speedrun, but I'm just like, ooh, my hands. I just want to be careful. And sometimes I'm really bad at hydrating, and hydrating is really important when you're doing like a lot of hand movements with like my mouse or keyboard or whatever. So yeah, we'll see.
So true. So true. Yeah, and there's some games that have really intense like button mashing, like a lot of the classic Mega Man games, for example. Yeah, just like shooting, and also like I think a big thing that's intense when you're having to button mash, for instance, if you're having to do other things while mashing, that's like hard, like moving while like mashing shots, or like moving and jumping and stuff like that for some games. Then I think it adds to the layer of intensity for mashing.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And it's also an added skill too. So yeah, games like Ninja Gaiden and like yeah, classic Mega Man especially, it's like crazy for those. So yeah, so what I said in the interview earlier, okay, first off, yeah, I find this game generally pretty difficult because it's kind of hard to survive because you don't really have that many, you don't have much invincibility frames when you get hit by enemies and stuff. So you can very easily get kind of like chained, like chained into hits a lot. Also enemy RNG, like So all these types of enemies, what enemies you'll get is consistent in a room, but then where they spawn is random, like within that room. So a lot of times you can have like keys that get in the way, like these bats, and I got pretty lucky there. For example, like it's not uncommon to have like 2 or 3 of them just like completely follow you around and like block the door and stuff, then like hit you a few times. So the fact that they were all kind of far away and they all like spread out when they started moving was like quite nice. Spread out away from me. It's quite nice. And then yeah, sometimes like these Octoroks might get in the way, so you can you might be forced to like hit them with your sword and kill them. So I'm hoping to not get winter here when entering this village, because the season entering here is random. And if you get winter, a lot of spots get pretty blocked off by like snow mountains and stuff. So if you want to get any other season. Yep. So the backup is to leave the town and then like re-enter and hope you get a different season. But I find it so common to get winter like twice in a row if you get winter once. Okay, yeah, so mashing through the tree. So I had to say no while mashing and like pay attention, because it's like kind of like, you want me to repeat that? And like, you don't want to say yes from just like mashing. If you like over mash, because yeah, you know, repeated text just wastes time. And yeah, so I'm heading off to Dungeon 1. I just got the key from the Maku tree to enter this dungeon. So having the charge the sword charging so that I could poke that bush, so that it's a little faster than like swinging your sword again to slash. So it's like small optimizations. So here's Dungeon 1, Gnarl Root Dungeon. So there's a thing that I'm going to be trying to do throughout the dungeon. So after I complete the dungeon, I want to have 30 kills. Oh, I'm going to take that. Sorry, it's a fly in my way too. Yeah, so I want to have 30 kills minimum, which will spawn a character named Maple outside of the dungeon. And I'm going to be trying to do an RNG manipulation to make her drop... oh my gosh, what's happening here? To make her drop a level 2 power ring, which increases the damage you do with your sword, but also makes you take extra damage. But it'll help speed up like certain bosses and mini bosses where I'm going to be using the sword. So hopefully I don't mess it up, because my consistency is not super great with it. And just to make sure that I have enough kills, if any of these keys are in my way, I'm going to just try to kill them as well. Even if I potentially might waste like some frames swinging at them. Okay, that guy trolled me. So here's some bombs. Gonna be using that periodically throughout the run as well. And also some requirements for this first RNG manipulation coming up. Later on, I do need to also have at least 1 rupee in my inventory. I think I need to have more than 15 ember seeds once I get the satchel, and I think I have to have more than 1 heart left for my health as well. So those are all kind of important. The fairy. Whatever. Gonna hope to heal. So yeah, it's some Oracles of Seasons RNG for you. So just for safety, I'm gonna grab this fairy as well to heal up. So yeah, the fairy just like darted like the other way, like the opposite way from me. So they can troll you a lot.
So rude.
I know, right? And then I got hit like right after that too. So like there are some more enemies I could kill around, but it's not like they might not drop hearts, so I didn't want to take the risk. So I just took the time lost grabbing the fairy that you get from killing the mini bosses. Which the mini boss, they have so they have 8 health, but they individually have 8 health, and so if you kill one, the other dies, but their health is not shared, so you want to do all the damage on just one of them. So that's why I went for the blue guy right away. Okay, so I want to save and do a hard reset, and I'm gonna take off my headset because I need to listen to the audio for this RNG minute.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Okay, I'm gonna try again. Okay, I think that should be good this time. So I need to do like semi-precise movement to try and keep the RNG going, but I'll put on my headset in a bit.
No, you're fine. Do what you gotta do.
Can't take my hands off off the controller for a bit. You really don't want to get grabbed by these wall masters as well, because they take you to the start of the dungeon. Alright, the sound of those sword slashes sounded correct. So, it should be good. So yeah, that was Aquamentus. The RNG manip also manipulates his pattern so that he'll just kind of walk towards you and shoot a lot as well. Because there's this attack he can do where he like rams at you and like hits the wall, and he's like pretty much invincible during that animation, and it wastes a ton of time. So the RNG manip also does help for that, but on top of that, I'm trying to carry the manip over to the next room to the right of here. So I think 7 sword slashes should make it work.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, that's correct. But yeah, I think I was talking over you when I had my headset off.
No, you're fine. I was just saying, do what you gotta do to. I think it's so cool.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought I faintly heard your voice when I was when I took off my headset, but I was like, oh crap.
No, you're fine. Hey, this is about you and your run, so now I'm just here chilling and watching. I don't know much about Zelda, but I did find some Zelda facts.
This one,
so I don't know if they're real or not, but I have some Zelda facts. So, you know.
I forgot you were mentioning in the call about it.
Yeah.
So I am interested to hear some of these.
So apparently, the dungeon layout in the original game spells out Zelda. Is that one that you can confirm, or chat? Can you confirm any of these facts that I randomly found?
I never knew that. if it's true.
The first quest dungeon, yeah.
Wow,
the first 5 dungeons on the second quest, spell out the name Zelda. Oh, this game? Yeah, the facts that I found are about Zelda in general because I don't know much about Zelda. So I was like, you know what? I know Ryan and I will be chilling. Like, I want to learn more about Zelda. I was like, we all love facts, right? Game facts are just great. So, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually don't know. I'm gonna go look that up later. I'm so
yes, everyone,
now.
please fact check the facts that I found on random websites. Please.
Yeah, I did manipulate that hide and seek area a bit as well. With those occasional like seemingly random sword slashes I did. Which, okay, yeah. So with manipulating RNG, so there's a lot of things that affect it, but one thing that's that helps in our favor is that whenever Link swings his sword, you get one of 3 different pitches for his sword slash, like a high pitch, low pitch, or medium pitch. And every time you swing your sword, it kind of rolls the RNG call by 1. So with that, based off of like the chain of sounds that I hear, they can manipulate the RNG in some spots, but there's some places where it's like not really possible, like non-tests, I guess, because stuff like the way that enemies move will change like the RNG. There's a lot of keys to Oracle of Seasons compared to Ages, and whenever the keys are moving, like when they're flapping their wings, they roll RNG like every other frame. So yeah, there's stuff like that that can affect it against your favor. What? I'm looking at chat. I was
waiting for you to finish talking about RNG, but apparently, not sure if you read the same thing, but it was said in the chat that the first 5 dungeons in Zelda 1 second quest spell out Zelda but out of order.
Wow.
But someone else said that if you go to certain levels in a certain order, then you can, in the certain right order, then you can spell out Zelda. So it sounds like the first fact that I found is accurate. That's exciting.
That's so cool.
I love watching Zelda runs. I just don't know a lot about the game outside of runs and watching runs and stuff. So it's always good to learn other things.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, there's more Zelda games I want to learn to speedrun, like eventually Oracle of Ages, but I'm kind of honestly hoping that someone makes a tutorial.
Yes.
Or an updated one.
Yes. We always don't have to be the first.
I messed up.
Or, you know, like the one to make the guide. We can always accept other people's guides.
Yeah, exactly. But I wonder, I don't think this is fixable, but we'll see. I was trying to keep still carrying the RNG manipulation, but I think I swung one too many times with my sword. But, oh well. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's dead. That enemy didn't move how he should have, so. Fortunately, this one's, like, not super crucial. It's mostly to manipulate, like, the way that the, enemies will, group up in, inside Dungeon 2. To make killing them a lot easier. Because, a lot of times when they're really spread out, they'll waste a lot of time, so. If anything, I assume that'll probably lose, like, 20 seconds. It's, like, not the worst, if anything. But if I was keeping the RNG going, there'd be a whole lot of things I'd be doing in some of these rooms. Like when I just got the shovel, if you dig, I needed to dig twice when digging up the snowman to, well, one so that you can actually just get out of the area, and then the other dig was to kind of like roll the RNG. I still did 2 digs anyway, just by habit, but yeah, all these enemies are like moving completely wrong, so there's like no shot that I can save the RNG here.
Okay, sometimes we have to do
I like
things
this
for
music. Oh, pardon?
Oh, I said sometimes we have to do things for safety, because I'm all about that in games, especially speedruns.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, these snakes called ropes. I guess that's in the Zelda 1 manual, actually, about the enemy names. But yeah, part of the RNG manipulation, they would have all been on the same row, so that they, when you're lined up with them, like laterally or vertically, then they'll try to charge at you, like that and that. So all 4 of them would have been like on the same like row, and then all came at me at the same time, instead of me having to like chase after a bunch of them, basically. And then these 2 guys would ideally bunch up really close, and like I could kill them both with that 1 bomb throw there. But it's fine. They still kind of played nice and like didn't move too far out of the way or like away from each other. That was solid.
Nice.
And this guy can be a jerk. Sometimes he'll shoot arrows like right up. Ah! Yeah, like that.
Oh no.
Or sometimes if he spawned like in front of those rocks up top, like sometimes he can just like block you and like hit you a lot if you're trying to get around him. Yeah, so kind of have a time limit for getting this chest in the middle here. I gotta stop hitting myself too. So after a certain amount of time, this chest will disappear. And in the speedrun, it's like pretty lenient though, if you do like pretty standardized movement. But yeah, since there's gonna be since I gotta travel to around that same area right now, then I'm gonna pick up both of these bushes. They always have a heart drop, so I'm just gonna grab them for safety. In addition, with my health, for part of the run, it probably won't be too scary because when I did that RNG manipulation on Maple after Dungeon 1, when we crashed into each other, also a potion dropped on top of me. So similar to like when there's like a fairy in a bottle in other games, then run out of hearts, it restores you to full once. So it's a single use item. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing here. Oops. Okay, there you go. And yeah, so I have like one extra shot if I actually run out of health for now. I find commonly I usually lose all my hearts in like dungeon 3. 3 through 5 is like pretty common for me. But sometimes I do end up like completing a whole run without like losing all my health though, as well. But I find usually it's just like having low health in the early game. It's like more difficult than maintaining your health later on when you have more heart containers. So maybe cheesing this mini boss that hopefully you won't be seeing. So Facade, just like in what's that game? Link's Awakening, the prequel to this game. His hitbox is there, but you have to go below a certain height on the screen for him to actually like spawn in and like trigger the fight. So yeah, you can just throw bombs like above him because his like hurt box is still there, even though the fight's not like active. And yeah, it takes 5 hits to kill, and a lot of times his face will disappear and then reappear, and he'll do some actions. But so we don't have to deal with any of the RNG with that fight because we just cheese him basically. Later on, at the very final area, you're gonna have to fight him again, and you unfortunately can't. He's like spawned in immediately, like when you enter the room, so we can't actually do that same strat later on and have to actually deal with his RNG. Top runners actually manipulate the fight, but I never learned the manip yet, so so we'll see what happens when I get there.
Well, I think this run's going great.
Yeah, pretty solid so far. And yeah, this boss, so the Dodongo, so as usual, gotta throw a bomb in his mouth, just like most Zelda games, but with an added twist. With the power bracelet, you also need to pick him up when he's bloated and throw him onto the spikes. So need to get 4 hits. Kind of also manipulating his movement a little by trying not to be too far downwards on the screen, because if you make him turn, like change of direction, going from like horizontal to vertical or vice versa, then it resets the time he takes to try and like charge at you, and you need him to do it once before he will open his mouth eventually. So you make him start going downwards, he'll like waste a lot of time. So I try to keep him like moving horizontal the whole fight. And I didn't realize how much time it loses until like actually doing like real-time runs. I was like, oh shoot. I thought it wasn't that big of a deal, but it actually low-key wastes like more time than one would think. Yeah, that fight went perfect, pretty much.
That was a cool fight. It's tidbits like that I think are so important when learning speedruns and speedruns like this.
Yeah, actually, the way I learned this run, so I'm surprised. I was talking about this earlier on my stream, but yeah, wow, it hasn't even been a year since I like learned the game. But yeah, so while I was working during the summer, so there's a GDQ HotFix show, How to Train a Speedrunner, and so TGH has like a two-part video for oh whoops. Okay, here's a praising the level 2 ring. All right, yeah. So he has like a 2-part video, which is like about 7 hours long of running through this whole game from that HotFix show. So I watched it at like 1.3 times speed and learned the run from that. And it's like very, very well in detail. So I recommend it. It's just very long. So as a forewarning.
That is awesome.
But like I wouldn't, like, it would take me way longer to learn the run like without that video, despite how long it is. So it's definitely better than most resources, I feel.
Sometimes putting the time in the front end will save you time. Definitely something I've learned with speedrunning.
Yep. So there's a bit of RNG with that fight with Blano. So had to do a boxing match because little animal friend Ricky, he lost the boxing match to Blano, and Blano took his gloves as a prize for defeating him. So needed to get it back. So I kind of just held left and was mashing A, and hoping that it would ring out Blano. But sometimes like his RNG, he might like actually defend himself. So and like waste a lot of time. So I got pretty lucky, or well, I was pretty standard, I think. Because generally what you do is like, if you like whiff a punch in front of him, he'll like raise his guard, and then you can or he like raises hands, so you can like kind of whiff punches in front of him and then like walk up to him and hit him. So I just kind of was like mashing A and holding forward, and then cycling between like feinting and like hitting him like over and over. And then yeah, Ricky can scale large cliffs, so I was able to advance here towards this area, Spool Swamp. And on that tree I grabbed Pegasus Seed. So similar to like Pegasus Boots and other Zelda games, gives you a boost of speed. In this it's like temporary speed boosts, and for like a limited amount of time, and you have like a limited amount of Pegasus Seeds to use. But it does save like a solid amount of time. Like as you can see, I'm like running pretty fast. So there is like specific routing to like use Pegasus Seeds throughout the run. And yeah, sometimes if you make mistakes, you might end up having to use like extra seeds, which could affect your time a little more if you like run out of seeds at like inappropriate places and stuff like that. So yeah, you can find pickups like anywhere. Generally, it's like pretty lucky to get Pegasus seed drops from like enemies and stuff. Like it sometimes just happens occasionally. Just quite nice.
We love kind RNG.
I'm hoping that I get some in actually, yeah, this dungeon coming up in a bit would be ideal to get some.
Fingers crossed for you.
Thank you, here's hoping. Alright, yeah, so some of those enemies, okay, better runners would also manipulate RNG here to actually force some Pegasus seed drops in like some bushes and like bunches of leaves and stuff. But the manip is very difficult, and also like if you mess it up at all, it will lose a lot of time. So as a newer runner, I've been advised like not to learn it. So part of the RNG manip would also be, so yeah, getting Pegasus seeds, and then also you need to dig up this star ore. Oh, I got lucky. It was in the first spot. So there's four spots on that beach area down there where the star ore could be, and we need to trade in the star ore to get this bow. Rosa, her bow, she was missing her bow, and yeah, a bunch of other people in this area called Subrosia. These Subrosians, the residents, they're all looking for it for her because she's I don't know, a lot of them like her, so they're hoping that they could find it so that maybe she'll go on a date with them. But since I got it, then she's going on a date with me right now.
Oh, it sounds like Stardew. Here's a gift. Date me.
And yeah, she has this key on her waist which opens up all these doors, which we need to get the next season. So I got winter yeah, a while back, before the second dungeon. So now we're gonna be going for, oh shoot, what season is this? Summer, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is summer. Next. Had to remember. Yeah, so in this temple, and this will give access to dungeon 3 after. And then when I beat dungeon 3, I'm actually gonna come back to this area and get the last 2 seasons, even though I think you're not intended to get autumn yet at that point, but gonna be trying to do a bunch of tricks to get autumn early, along like after getting spring. But more on that later. So yeah, making my way back to Spool Swamp now to what's it called? To yeah, to go to Dungeon 3 from here. So I'm skipping out using a seed over here because I do want to save a couple for inside Dungeon 3. And I also need to have, like, I think at least one left after I beat the dungeon. So mostly for those reasons. Oh, also, I guess a little extra thing with Link's movement. In these games, so generally, it's a little faster to be walking walking in a cardinal direction rather than diagonal. So, like, you know, horizontally or vertically compared to diagonal. But, of course, sometimes you have to walk diagonal, and it's faster to move diagonal than to, like, you know, move up and then turn left compared to doing, like, you know, up plus left or something.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so
I do that in real life too. Sometimes, you know, the hypotenuse of the triangle, like, you know, like shagging theorem and all that. Like, sometimes you just gotta cross diagonally
instead of just like turning.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so these spiky hardhead guys. Hold on, I'm still laughing too much.
Sorry.
So yeah, you can flip them over with the shovel. Normally, you can use your shield and block them to flip them over, but it is optimal to for the run. It's optimal to losing my train of thought. Okay, I messed this up. I gotta actually be careful and pay attention real quick. Okay, it's fine. You can get through this room without needing to kill any of those wall masters, but if you mess up the movement, then it's ideal to just equip your sword and kill them, because if you get grabbed, they'll take you back to the start of the dungeon. So, and that loses a lot of time. But yeah, flipping the spiky hardheads. You can bump them with your shield, which is what you would learn from playing Link's Awakening. But yeah, you can also use the shovel to flip them over, which generally is faster because, like, it's less menu use. Because every time that you pause, you lose about 2 seconds per menu that you have to do. So minimizing the amount of menus is also some optimization for the run. Alright, well, I just wasted a lot of time there. Wait, what am I doing here? Oh, right. I pushed the gray one down. So you want to have all these colors lined up together. So the same as the top of the screen up above. How there's, like, the grays are all on the left and the reds are all on the right. So, yeah, I just pushed one, like, down in the wrong spot. So that was a weird but funny error. So there's a bit of cheese that you can do here. So these mimics, mimic your inputs on the D-pad. And, so since I'm swinging my sword, and I'm not moving, I'm holding the D-pad still, so they're still moving because they're, you know, mimicking my D-pad inputs pretty much. So I just lure them into my sword while I'm just standing there spamming to kill them all. Because need to kill them to spawn. Oh no! Yeah, kill them to spawn the chest, which had Rock's Feather. So just like in Link's Awakening. Oh no. Okay, just like in Link's Awakening, you can jump. It's like one of the few 2D Zeldas where you can jump. And yeah, I also was kind of trying to prioritize killing the keys down there, like the bats, because when I come back, I'm gonna come back in that room again soon, and the ones I killed will still be dead when I come back. And when there's a lot of them, they can, like, very often get in your way versus your movement. So if there's any in your way, then it's ideal to kill them on your first visit. There's a key. So yeah, I'm gonna try to just like muscle through and hope that the oh my gosh, I actually didn't see him either. To say I'm gonna hope that the one Keese that's still alive doesn't get in the way, but he was like perfectly in the way. And of course I jumped like a pixel too short. Cause I wasted so much time because the Keese like blocked me, and then I lost my Pegasus seed. So I didn't have like the extra speed to jump further across here. So that was just unlucky RNG pretty much, but it happens. So bleeding a ton of time in this area. It might have actually been worth it to just use the next seed again. So I think I might have extra. Okay, so this time through this room, yeah, I'm not even gonna bother trying to do the swordless strat. And just like kill whatever's in my way, ideally. Because I mess it up like pretty often. Also, no, we don't get the satchel upgrade or like bomb upgrades or anything like that. Unfortunately. Alright, so jumping over that switch, because all these floor tiles collapse when you press that switch. So the gimmick of this dungeon is to get Rock's feathers so you can jump over that and not get through. That's usually like a kind of hard block at the start. For people like first seeing this dungeon for the first time, because they'll try to use the Pegasus seeds to like outrun the collapsing tiles or something like that, but it's like barely not possible. Alright, so killed that mini boss. It's a little bit slow, but it's fine. Generally 2 cycles ideal, but took 1 extra cycle. And I grabbed the fairy for safety as well, even though I was on the opposite end of where the stairs spawn after that fight. Oh, also if I have the feather equipped, it's faster to jump over staircases. Not like the staircases that transition screens, but the staircases that make you go up and down a floor slightly in the same room. Oh, whoops. I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, like not these staircases, for example, but these staircases over here. It's faster to jump over than to walk up them. So, boss is coming up. So I guess the RNG here is whether he'll go left or right. I'm gonna hope that he goes left. Oh, he went right.
Oh
no. Actually like messed up the backup afterwards, so it's not good. I lost my potion. Wow. And my jump didn't input either, so I gotta redo the fight again. Oh no, I killed him like right as I was falling down the hole, so it still counted as a kill. Never mind. I didn't have to redo the fight at least, even though I lost time falling.
Love that. Love when the game works in your favor.
Yep. Yeah, it sucks I lost my heart in an instant like that, because, again, that's a trade-off with level 2 power ring. That you take more damage when you get hit as well, and then I not only messed up the fight, but I also just got hit a ton in a row when trying to squeeze in some hits that did like just enough to kill me. But oh well, it is what it is. Okay, so here, oh, I didn't unequip my power ring either. I forgot. The next menu, I'll do it though. So I want to try and use the seed for long enough to jump over these those 2 pit tiles. Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, I equipped the wrong thing before. Okay, this makes sense. So yeah, there's Maple again, but don't need her for the rest of the run. Save a few frames from skipping the dying animation. Well, falling down and having to jump back up takes way longer than the dying animation. But certainly does not even out. But it wasn't as bad of a time loss as it would have been like if I didn't kill him though, fortunately. Okay. So there's a spot that you can dig up right here that gives you 50 ore. It's the currency in this area. So the rare ore gives you 50, and with this route, since I'm not manipulating Pegasus seed drops, then I'm gonna spend 25 per 10 Pegasus seed drops, and I max out at 20 anyway, so it kind of conveniently works out there. Gonna also take a safety save here, just in case I mess up this trick a bunch coming up. It's called hide and seek skip. So normally there's a part where once you reach a certain part, then these two Subrosians will steal your feather, bump into you and steal your feather, and then you kind of have to do the hide and seek thing, kind of like with Rosa earlier. And okay, cool, I got it first try. That's good. I was struggling in practice like a few minutes ago. I was a little worried. But awesome. I guess towards the end of the practice, I was getting it more often, so I guess it paid off to practice.
Practice is important. Also telling myself this.
Yeah, practice is pretty key. Like, yeah, like I was complaining about when I was streaming earlier in practicing because I haven't played this game in like a month. Like, and I didn't really have that much time. Combination of being kind of lazy, but also I just had like a lot of plans over the last like 3 weeks, like nearly every day. So it was like a bit over 3 weeks ago, like a friend came home to Toronto from Hong Kong. I haven't seen for like almost 5 years. So
that's awesome.
We were hanging out a bunch before he left. And then my birthday was like the week after, and then a lot of people found out it was my birthday the day after my birthday, and like almost every day people have wanted to chill or catch up or something.
Yeah.
So I've had plans like literally every day, including today. Like, yeah, I kind of like came back from plans and like practiced for like less than an hour. And then had to jump into this run, so yeah.
You're doing great. And also, too, like, a long run, right? So, how do you manage that?
I know, right? I just picked some specific spots to practice where, like,
okay.
I feel like I'll lose a lot of time if I mess them up. Like hide and seek skip here earlier. In a different marathon, I actually went over estimate because I messed up that trick for like 7 minutes. So, and the rest of the run actually went like really solid, but I just messed that up like so many times that I went over estimate.
Yeah, that's a good tidbit.
Yeah, things like that.
that's a good tidbit because I've been like weary of longer runs. Like I love a good 30, 45 minute, hour and a half is about my like it's about my limit. So that's a good. That's a good tidbit to like practice the not fun thing, the thing that might get you later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I definitely have experience with longer runs because my first speed run was Mario RPG, and that's like around 3 hours. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm definitely used to the long runs. And then like when was it? I think this past October I learned JRPG for the Wii called Arcrise Fantasia, and like what I was learning at the world record was like 10 hours. Now I have world record and it's like slightly over 9 hours, but still awesome. It's a long run.
Congrats, that is a long run.
Hey, wow. Thank you.
And people were telling you happy belated birthday. I know I said it earlier, but happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Yeah. Also, thank you everybody in chat. I did read a bit as well because I saw there's someone else from Toronto in the chat. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah, occasionally been like skimming over as well.
No, but I got you.
No, I appreciate it. Definitely keep it up.
Animal Crossing speedruns are 20 to 30 hours. Wow. I can see that though. It takes a lot of time to get money in Animal Crossing.
Yep.
I can see that.
And then the classic meme of one of the Baten Kaitos. I think it's a prequel on GameCube. It's like think it's like 2 weeks, like the speed run.
Wow, that's what
for 100% category.
Yeah, that's what someone literally just said. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just brought it up. I was like, wait. It's Kevin chatting.
It's like you don't have to actually be playing for like 2 weeks straight, but there's some event that happens after about 2 weeks or something like that. So you do like a lot of the run like in a day, and then I think you have to like leave your console like running for like 2 weeks or something, and then do the rest of the run after.
Wow. It's so, interesting.
Yeah, the shampoo, that's what it is.
Oh, goodness. Super Mario Brothers 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Yeah, speedrunning is for anyone. Whether you would like a longer run that takes weeks, or 10 hours, or 24 hours, or if you're looking for something shorter, 30 minutes, 3 minutes, you can speedrun.
Yep. Kind of recently, there's also like Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think 100% speedrun. That's like, I think it was like 400 hours or something. Like, or I think the time is like a bit under 200 hours or something like that. And it's like, but like, the amount of time that the runner spent was like 400, I think. But that's including like him like sleeping and stuff like that, if I recall correctly. I'd have to like recheck the article about that to be correct, but I might be slightly off on that info.
No, that's fair. It's also fair that, yes, speedrunning, especially on a stage in an event, can be a lot. And we definitely understand that. But we're happy to even have viewers and people supporting speedrunning.
Indeed. Oh, this is kind of cheese, by the way. I like sort of clipped into the wall and grabbed the rooster from the wrong side and flew up here. It's not intended, but...
Oh, it's not intended? Okay. Wait, I love that, though.
It's like a pretty big skip, but it's like... It looks subtle enough that it like could like low-key look intended, but... So I'm hoping to get a bomb drop from cutting these bushes. So I've got the best pet, Moosh the bear, or best animal buddy, with wings. And yeah, the reason I did that cute little butt stomp was to break those 2 bushes, or break those 2 flowers, because I was hoping that he would, or I was hoping that I would get a bomb drop. Gonna hope I get one from that guy. Nope. And kind of resetting my save and quit point by entering that house and leaving. Because I'm gonna do a save and quit after I grab the key for Dungeon 4 over here. Well, yeah, Moosh also would give you a tutorial, like a bit of text, like a small tutorial on how to use his butt stomp. If I didn't do it that one time over there, so it does save a bit of time if you don't have a bomb, then to check that spot to hopefully get one. Okay, so I need winter here. But yeah, there's a backup though for if I don't get a bomb drop. Alright, yeah, I guess I'm not gonna get a bomb drop now since nothing here dropped any. But there's a chest inside Dungeon 4 that gives you 10 bombs near the start, so it's gonna take like a small time loss to get that, which is just the luck of the draw sometimes. And yeah, I can just barely jump over that gap right there. It's weird. Like since every tile is a square, then if you move in between 2 pit tiles, then Link kind of has to get like dragged into one of them. So kind of like walk for a bit if you're in between two tiles. So with that, you can barely cross that gap that I jumped across. Oh, this is really unlucky.
Oh no.
That guy was there. That sometimes just happens. So I'm gonna grab these hearts. Especially since I lost my potion, I really don't want to die throughout the run. So now I've got summer. So I love this music for this dungeon as well. And it's a little faster to swim diagonally than it is to walk diagonally. So I walked straight into the water and then I was swimming diagonally. getting towards that door. And so yeah, Dancing Dragon Dungeon. I hope this Stalfos isn't the greatest sniper of all time. All right, cool. Sometimes those guys can like shoot arrows at you as you're like crossing over. So yeah, got a little bit of standardized pot movement. Just need to push them all onto these switches. So yeah, so I think all except for so I'm gonna be putting pushing pots onto every switch except for the last one, so I have to stand on it. Yeah, that one right there. And also I forgot to mention, since Dungeon 1, so whenever a key spawns from the ceiling, or is dropping from the ceiling, so I'm scrolling the screen down as far as possible, so staying at the bottom until the key starts dropping, because it will start from a lower point, since it always starts falling from the very top of the screen, wherever the screen is positioned. So yeah, it has a lower starting point relatively, because I'm at the bottom of the screen and it scrolled all the way down, which is a very small optimization. Oh my god, these keys are just everywhere in the way. Oh my god. Okay. At least I made it across, because if I got knocked off into the spikes, that would be really bad down there. And yeah, it was seeming likely with like how in the way they were, like each and every one of them. It's not good that I lost a lot of health though, but I think this is manageable, at least. I'll try to like find safety heals if I can as well. Actually, I think these pots might have health, but I'm actually unsure, so I'm not gonna bother checking, honestly. Oh my god, Prog! Legend. Another Smash Bros. Melee homie from like the old days. And also was a pretty known legendary commentator for a very long time. Oh, I forgot to equip Pegasus Seeds. Whoops. Oh! Okay, there you go. So yeah, I wanted to grab that key before it fell in the water, because if it drops in and then you have to dive to get it, you get text saying like you got a key and all that, but if it falls onto you before then, you just collect the key without any extra text. So it saves a small bit of time. Ooh, the Pegasus seed dropped there. Kind of unfortunate that I took a hit there, but I'm gonna take off the powering for a bit of safety, because I expect to take a couple hits on the way to the mini boss here. And yet again, since I lost my potion early, then I really don't want to die. Hey, thank you. Reading chat a bit. So, gonna try to avoid the Stalfos since he was pretty square in the way and like moving towards me. But kind of got bad RNG on the, what are those called? The anti-fairies that are bouncing around the room. So yeah, unfortunately, like hit me right on the way out the door, but it should be fine. Since mini bosses always drop fairies, then as long as I don't die to this guy, who's a pretty easy fight, then yeah, I should get a fairy drop right here. We can also grab this Ember Seed just in case. Like, it's not mandatory at all. Okay, so need Pegasus Seeds, and yet again, unequipping the Power Ring just generally for safety, because a lot of these enemies, since they do only half a heart normally, but then, you know, you lose one whole heart if you have the level 2 Power Ring equipped. So at points where I'm not going to be trying to attack enemies often, then yeah, it can save you to like unequip, even though it like takes a bit of time to unequip and re-equip like here and there. The wiggle animation in the cart. Yes. Oh, like yeah, I'm just spinning. I'm just rotating the D-pad and spinning around for fun. I just love to do it.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's definitely just me doing it on purpose. But
that's perfect.
I can't do it right here though because I need to shoot these torches. Yeah, so I shot those torches to unlock that chest, which has a key in it. I'm gonna grab it the next visit into that room. So I need to shoot these 2 switches to reach into this far right side of the room. Sometimes you can get really unlucky and like a bunch of keys will be around the switches, and then you know, you might hit one of them instead of the switch. So you can do like a little minor skip here, jumping across this gap, but I'm gonna give up since I failed it twice. Like in runs, I almost never get it first try. I don't know why, but I don't know. It is. I kind of have issues with like diagonal jumping sometimes, but it is what it is. And yeah, since you like save and quit and kind of like, and then take the midpoint warp back to this room a lot, it is very easy to like go the wrong way sometimes and do this out of order. Like there's a couple runs where I've like forgotten to get the boss key, which I just got. Not this key, but the key before that was like in the water was the boss key. And yeah, like occasionally in runs I sometimes forget. So or sometimes I'll forget that one other key, and then like that causes problems like right before the boss room. So you know, sometimes you just remember through mistakes. So yeah, these whiz robes, I forgot to equip the level 2 power ring, so I'm gonna just shoot them with shoot them with these gale seeds to get them out of the room. Which I guess a good thing I didn't have the power ring equipped since I took it. But okay, what I want to equip here? Oh, scent seeds, right? Yeah, so you can just barely jump across that gap instead of lighting up the 2 torches to unlock that bridge. And then if I get hit by keys, you can kind of like stop yourself from getting pushed by things. So that's why I was just spamming jumps there. Okay, yeah, so whoops, I didn't mean to move diagonal like that. Yeah, so Claw Goma, there's a 2 pixel window where you can like, or a 2 pixel gap that you can shoot in between, like hit Goma's eye, like in between the claw and the right side, which is intangible. So normally casually you would break the claw with your sword and then shoot a bunch of scent seeds or ember seeds. But yeah, you can just bypass that by shooting in a 2 pixel window. Giant crab, the most fearsome enemy. It's like a crab spider hybrid, I guess. Alright, so I forget what I need to equip here. Yeah, something like that. I know I need Gale Seed. Oh, whoops, I accidentally fat fingered to pause there. There's a matching A to swim, and since I'm using a SNES controller, I have the X button set for the start button, so sometimes I can accidentally fat finger. So I grabbed that little Dorito looking thing over there. Or, oh, I was supposed to equip the sword. That was it. Right. Yeah, so that triangle thing, I'm gonna need it to get access to Dungeon 6 later. Oh, I did that menu wrong, but it's okay. I mean, I equipped the right items, but I kind of like wasted time by equipping them onto the wrong button. That's okay. But yeah, I'm heading to Dungeon 5 soon, but I'm gonna grab another one of those mysterious objects that gives you access to Tarm Ruins, which is on the path to get to Dungeon 6. Most people like this game will mention how they love the music in Tarm Ruins, so pretty hyped to get there later. So yeah, it's a little bit optimal to equip what's this seed? Oh my god. Mystery seeds, because you need to shoot this question mark thing with the mystery seed, and So when I was shooting the torches, the mystery seed, whenever you shoot it, it acts as one of any of the other seeds. So you have a 1 in 4 chance to get an ember seed when you shoot a mystery seed at the torch to light it up. So I forgot how many shots I did. Was that like 7? Didn't we like actually run out of like mystery seeds from not getting ember? Usually it's about 16 shots. Yeah, sorry, I missed what you said.
Oh, I was like, I'm not sure how many.
Oh, true.
My bad.
Yeah, I didn't fully count either, so. No, it's all
you didn't tell me my job.
And 1 shot.
No, oh, well.
Nah, I'm teasing. Yeah, so Dungeon 5, oh wow, I actually didn't know you can push the keys with the Rod of Seasons like that. Probably might have been taking a hit by having it be out of the way. Because yeah, basically just hitting these switches to change the tracks. And okay, admittedly, all these minecart tracks, when I played this game casually, it was my least favorite part of the game. But it's part of the game, so
that's why you started
like finding
spinning.
out where to go.
That's why you're like,
oh, sorry.
That's why you just started spinning, because you're like, listen, I'm tired of taking the wrong one. And I was gonna spin. I feel you.
Exactly, to kill time.
Right.
Figure out where to go. Yep. Yeah, yeah, even though I don't like them, it's a part of the game, so it is what it is. Just gotta deal with it. So yeah, about to grab the magnet glass. Which, I guess it's kind of like almost like a hookshot equivalent in this game. Shoot, what am I supposed to equip? I actually don't remember. I think this is right. So yeah, you have 2 polarities, so north and south, like a magnet. You know, opposites attract, and the same will repel each other, so... Oh, I just realized my seed ran out, I forgot. Because I got horrendous RNG with the enemy movement in that room, so I forgot that my Pegasus seed ran out, like, super early. So the troll, like the mini Moldorm was such a troll and like bouncing around the chest, just like cleaning the way and like stalking me pretty much. So I was unlucky because I combination of lost a lot of health and also just wasted a ton of time in addition. So these Helmosaurs can be trolls as well. You gotta hit them from behind. No, this is not good. And yeah, so you gotta hit them from behind to kill them. Oh, I don't know what order these guys died. I hope that this is correct. Because you have to open these chests in the same order that you killed all of these guys to get the key. So I set up spin slashes in a certain way to kill them correctly. So yeah, since my health is really low from just eating so many hits like throughout those last like 2 sections, then I try to you know, not get hit. Plus I still have the power ring equipped, so gotta be careful. Yeah, usually that guy shoots inwards, so I was kind of ready to react to if he did or not. Yo, what's up, Osborne? Yeah, hopefully I do well.
Got it. You're
yeah, if
great.
I were to die like somewhere in here, it wouldn't be too bad. Like, no, I forgot. I wasn't paying attention at all. Okay, so I have to take this minecart like 2 extra times because I changed the track. I was supposed to go left, but it's not that big of a deal. It's okay. All right, so just for safety here, I'm gonna unequip the power ring and. Yeah, you can kind of cheese, like, when you're, when you magnet on that rotating thing. I don't know what it's called, to be honest. Then, when you let go of your magnet, then, you're kind of standing while you're in the air for a little bit, so you can jump off it, so you can, like, save a little bit of time. Yo, PT, what's up? The Ryan show.
We love it. We love it.
Recently, for one of Big John's marathons, he was like, Ryan Ford and Friends marathon because I think I had like 5 games
I love it.
for that event. So he just like jokingly said that when he revealed the schedule.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yes, Tiger. Not much to say. As long as you do the fight cleanly, yeah, you won't run into trouble. I messed this up severely in practice earlier, like a couple hours ago, but usually after I make the mistake, I can like at least remember what to do after the error. So it's kind of all I needed was just to make the mistake and then be like, okay, I know what to do next time. I remember now. So yeah, you can kind of jump past that ladder. Oh shoot, that was not good. Oh, I missed the select button. So you press start and select to open the save quit menu. So I think I got only a start press, so I just opened my equips menu instead of the save quit. Oh my god, the keys are all... Oh wow, they actually were really nice. They kind of moved out of the way, even though they were all bunched up around where I wanted to go. They were teasing me a little. So yeah, more magnet gloves used, and nope! Okay, I'm gonna just take the safer side. Well, it would have been safer if all the keys weren't there, but it's okay. There's also 2 hearts in those pots specifically that I got, so just for safety for Dig Dogger over here. Still a jerk of a boss in every Zelda game, including this one. So yeah, he splits up into small ones as usual, and okay, wow, that was a really clean 1-cycle fight, actually. It has been months since I've had a good fight. Admittedly, though, I haven't like played this game that much, like since July, I think. Last year, July, so it's probably a low bar to set, but I haven't had a 1-cycle like every time that I've slightly de-rusted this game before a marathon, so I'm glad. That was actually a very, very clean fight. Alright, so I forgot where to go. I didn't practice this part, so... Actually, wait, I think I remember now.
I believe in you. You got this.
Alright, it was a small scare. It was a small scare. Alright, so I need to get that last piece. I think it's the square for those miscellaneous shapes I've been grabbing. So there's like an old guy in this house after you beat... I think he only shows up after you beat Dungeon 5, but I might be wrong about that. And so I'm gonna use the Gale Seed again to go back to that same tree. So this tree in Spool Swamp, if you hadn't noticed already, has Pegasus seeds on it after you've moved past a certain amount of screen. So they'll spawn again and they drop there's 3 in the tree and they give you 6 each. So a lot of times we come back here to like refill on Pegasus seeds after like some dungeons and stuff. So I did like 2 refills there to max out. So I need Summer, I think. Sayer's Tarm Ruin, so sorry about everyone knows and loves the music that has played this game before. So you get your cat jams ready if you know. Yeah, so this place has like it pretty much does the check for if you have all the seasons on you, since you got to use each one to progress. This one's autumn, I think, right? Yeah, okay. had to think about it for a bit, but yeah, it's definitely autumn. And I'm gonna also be making a detour in here because semi recently it was found out that it is a bit faster to get the level 2 sword, which normally you have to do like a bunch of like trade side quests to get the hint on how to get the level 2 sword in this Lost Woods part here. But the hint is to go left as the seasons get warmer. So I did what? Winter, fall, now here's spring, and then summer. is next. And the puzzle to actually progress towards Dungeon 6 is almost the same. It's the seasons as they get warmer, but you also go counterclockwise. So starting from the left. So yeah, I guess it's like almost the same. Slightly, not quite. And yeah, I gotta avoid this because sometimes it can get in your way. This game was your childhood? Did not want to know how old. Oh, I misequipped there. Whoops. It's fine though.
Wild to think that people succeeded at playing this game as a child. I don't know if I could play it as an adult and succeed with all the different dungeons and puzzles and stuff. I don't know. I do not know.
Oh, I fat fingered the pause by accident again. I bet you would be fine if you're interested in playing this game. It is a bit difficult, but I think it's a fun playthrough. Every now and then I see people doing a streaming a first time playthrough of this game. Oh, okay. I didn't know that I would not be able to trigger the thing because of how egregious this RNG was with the enemy spawn. So I wasted a lot more health than I wanted. So I'm gonna just take this extra refills here. Yeah, I guess I was due to get like bad luck there. So I never experienced like that horrendous like position from that guy. So I thought that you can trigger the flower while taking a hit, but I learned the hard way now. So I also love this song. I don't even remember the name of this dungeon. It's Ancient Tomb or Ancient Ruins. It's Ancient something.
The Ancient.
I didn't get a jump input for no reason. It's fine though. Oh, this actually might matter in the next room. Wait, no. This is fine. But yeah, what was I gonna say? This dungeon's actually like pretty long, even in the speedrun too. Oh, I almost forgot to equip the magnet gloves. So gotta pull up this ball. I jumped early. Oh, it still worked. Wow. I thought I was gonna fall into the pit there. So yeah, again, using opposites attract and like and all that, and that ruling, pulling that ball or pushing it away, depending on the polarity. So yeah, all the way to get a switch, pretty much.
That's a really cool like mechanic.
I know, right? I love the magnet glove. It's actually really cool. Yeah. The screeching sound though is kind of. Oh, I was a pixel short. That sucks. Again, jumping exactly 1 frame too early. Okay, there you go. What was I gonna say about this room? Oh yeah, so occasionally I've been doing cancels with sword swings and well, I think this is the first time with a slingshot shot. But you can during your animation of like shooting the slingshot or swinging your sword, you can jump with the feather so that you can like continue moving forward without coming to a full stop for as long. Wait, where am I going? I was supposed to go this way. Whoops. Okay, here you go. So all of these Armos are gonna come to life, and yeah, and now I've got the level 2 boomerang. I didn't get the level 1 boomerang, but which you get through like a mini game in Subrosia after beating Dungeon 1 actually, but it's not like mandatory to get. So at least for the speedrun, it's not mandatory to get. So never bothered taking that detour.
Fair.
Okay, so what am I doing here? Oh, right. Okay, I remember. Yeah, so I'm gonna hope that not a lot of snakes get in my way. Oh shoot, kind of panicked. And of course, there's always one up top at the end over there. Alright, so... yeah, I'm gonna be using a lot of those jump cancels with the sword, as I mentioned earlier. And so this magic boomerang, so if you're holding the boomerang, the button for the boomerang, then you can control it. And if you wow, what the heck? I've never seen that before. And yeah, if you release it, then you'll end controlling it pretty much. Oh my god, this enemy RNG is so cursed everywhere. They really have it out for me.
Please, RNG, please.
Holy moly. I think I had some good management and reactions on some of those spots, but they are really trying to kill me. Alright, so I think that trick is a little more difficult than it seems. I don't even know like how to explain what I did. And yeah, fortunately there's a fairy there, like consistently, so yeah, once I got past the room with the torches, then I wasn't too concerned about my house. There was a keys there? Oh my gosh, I didn't even see it. So yeah, I'm just spamming jumps so that if I get hit, I don't get knocked backwards. And ideally, maybe I'll like jump over some keys. And some of those sand tracks that are moving, like some of them boost you forward and some of them push you backwards. So the ones that are pushing you backwards, then you know, it's ideal to just jump instead of like getting slowed down by them moving against you. Oh my gosh, these guys just spread out like crazy in the room. Alright, so I'm gonna just kill some of these. They're like so in the way. More ropes, the snakes. And yeah, coming up, so this mini boss, oh wait, I didn't equip, oh, I did equip it, I forgot, in the other room, whoops. Move! Okay, there you go. So yeah, Vire is a pretty big instance of RNG in the run, so you can do a bunch of different patterns. Like, ideally, I want him to just dive at me like that. So he's gonna take 3 hits to kill, ideally. And you can do stuff like circle around the room. You can sometimes just spam, like shoot an attack from really far away and run away. Oh no, that's not good. Alright, so I'm wasting a lot of time. But yeah, sometimes you can hit him with a spin slash or like a sword swing, even when he's circling the outside parts of the room, before he like flies away after you swing at him. Sometimes you might get lucky. You can also hit him with bombs too, which I'm crazily out of practice with using bombs on him, so I'm not gonna bother trying. Alright, cool. I got rid of them.
Woo!
Yeah, in Oracle of Ages, you actually manipulate his RNG, because he is a mini-boss in one of the dungeons in that game as well. But they manipulate his RNG so that fight is like actually consistent, whereas in this one, you see how many keys were like everywhere, like in this dungeon. So they mess up being able to manipulate RNG. So speaking of RNG, so this room, so these, you press either of these switches and it's 50-50 whether the stairs will spawn or a bunch of snakes will fall from the ceiling. So
oh no.
Yeah, so I got a 3rd try, which is not great, but still could be worse. Oh shoot, this guy actually reached all the way down here, so I'm gonna just kill him. Yeah, so gotta activate all of these switches. And yeah, I think from now on I'm gonna kill that Dark Nut whenever I reach that part, because more often than not he gets in my way. So oh, whoops, I let go of B by accident. So I dropped controlling my boomerang there. So yeah, that switch activates these stairs, which lets you get to... Okay, just for safety, I'm gonna grab this fairy as well. So let's fight Manhandla. Sometimes I die to this boss, so try to be careful. So Manhandla, also a jerk, just like in Zelda 1. Except I think it's a very cool, like, reimagined fight. So these mouths open up and shoot beams. And when you kill, each head that you kill will speed up. So general strat usually is to try and kill hey, open up. Yeah, general strat's kind of have like all the other heads like one hit from dying, because they all take 3 hits to kill. And then try to kill like all of them like at once, so that this doesn't happen particularly, where he's just kind of like hugging the wall with like the head the head that I'm like trying to hit. So alright, that was kind of a poor fight, but at least I'm through it. 'Cause yeah, and then you can open his core with the boomerang, and then yeah, and then you gotta just hit the core once with the sword to kill him. But yeah, because of like the sand, how the sand's like pushing you towards the middle, like sometimes you can get hit by him in a way that you'll keep getting pushed back into him, and you can just get like chained and lose like 8 hearts or something like really easily. So,
oh, wow.
So I was playing extra cautious the whole time. And it probably loses like 2 minutes to die there, so. And I've had it happen occasionally. Okay, so I had to remember where to go because I didn't practice this part either.
It's okay.
Alright, Horon Village. So I'm gonna be going to Subrosia to help these skull pirates. And also you can kind of cheese that spot there by... There's like a pixel where you can like throw the boomerang like in between those 2 cracks and hit the switch from the wrong side, basically. Oh, whoops, I'm so hard reset here. So I'm gonna be starting the RNG manipulation here. Here, I'm gonna take off my headset for a bit. The usual. So so in Samasa Desert, so basically the pirate captain, he will let me use his ship to get to a different area. If I help get his bell back. So it's in the desert. And yeah, there's like 4 spots where it can be, so I'm gonna be trying to manipulate the RNG to be in the closest spot. If I mess this up, I don't remember the backup, so. Okay, I think that's correct. Yeah, I think you like wait till you get the high-pitched sound, if I recall correctly. I also gotta make sure I don't accidentally throw the skull when I pick it up. Okay, yeah, it works. Cool. Yeah, so that skull will start like opening and closing his mouth when Oh, did I make a mistake here? I think it's fine. Yeah, he'll start opening and closing his mouth when when you're at the right hole. Okay, so the end of this manip, if I did it right. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got the Pegasus seed drop there as well.
Woo!
So yeah, carried over the manip for like 2 things. So some runners also carry over the RNG manip for the first part of Dungeon 7 as well, but I'm not gonna do that though. I'm gonna set up a new manip when I get inside Dungeon 7 though, instead. Oh, I think I used 1 less seed than normal. That's fine, having 1 extra probably won't hurt anything. So I make sure to say the second option here. In English, it's like, I think you either say like, yes, please, or do it, like yell at him. And for some reason, I guess saying do it makes him fix. So he offers his services to fix the rusted belt that I found in the desert. Because if I give it to the captain, he'll just be like, you idiot, go get it polished, it's rusted. Or something like that.
That's
So I
nice.
also have to stay high enough on the screen here because the trigger. Oh, whoops! The trigger for the hide and seek mini game, like when I skipped it earlier, is still there. So yeah, you'll lose like a minute and a half if you trigger that by accident from being too low. But anyways, I interrupted you, Sprinkle. What'd you say just now?
No, I was just saying that was interesting and nice of them that they help you out.
Yep. So you finally get to use the pirate ship to I don't know how this works, like getting out of Subrosia, which is kind of like underground, and getting up to the upper world. But yeah, I've also got like probably like a minute of downtime or something, so I'm chilling.
Yes, we do. I was just about to ask that. Okay, so
Right. Go ahead.
Zelda's name is named after Zelda Fitzgerald of the F. Scott Fitzgerald, the wife of Scott Fitzgerald, the author of The Great Gatsby.
Oh, I never knew that.
Can anyone confirm or deny?
That's why it's a fact. I guess that's why it's a Zelda fact coming up.
Can anyone confirm or deny?
Alright, I was a little slow on the text there earlier because I had both hands kind of occupied.
I keep distracting you with facts and diagonal walking in real life and stuff like that, so you know.
Nah, it ain't your fault. I promise. That was all me. Oh yeah, one thing I've been trying to avoid for the whole run. So because I run Link's Awakening DX as well, to open the save quit menu, you have to press start select A and B for that game. But like most Game Boy games, if you press start select A and B all together in this game and most other games, you'll soft reset the console pretty much. So remembering those two things is like so crucial if you like run both games. Actually, for another event, Zelda-thon coming up, I am gonna actually be running both games like back to back. So I hope that doesn't happen. Oh no! All right, this is really bad.
Oh no, it's okay.
I never messed this up. Okay, I rarely mess this up in general, but I've never messed it up that many times as well.
Marathon luck.
On top of that, I broke the floor too because I forgot where I needed to go. That was supposed to go to the right, but it's okay.
It's okay.
So now I'm gonna be starting a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Hey, thank you. All right, so gonna move my thing a little. My headset. Hold up.
Okay, some people are saying that Wikipedia confirms that Zelda Fitzgerald.
Oh, I completely missed that because I took off my headset.
Oh, sorry. I was
No,
missed you called it out.
I was just listening for the RNG minute.
Oh, yeah.
I think I might have messed it up, maybe, but not 100% sure if I did or not. That's okay. I'm already through the listening part, so don't worry.
Okay, sorry. I must have missed that call out.
No, you're good. You're good.
Some people are saying
No,
that,
I took off my headset anyway, so it's like.
Okay.
So yeah, I was ready.
Fair.
Yeah, no, but I was just saying that I missed what you said. So like, if it was like specifically for me that you were saying it.
Oh, someone was just confirming that like they saw it on Wikipedia as well. So maybe the website I found like I don't know 2 for 2 facts. I might be the stream that
Hey. Nice.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's another fact that I saw. Robin Williams' daughter named his daughter Zelda after Princess Zelda. Yes, that is actually another fact that I had. And okay, so that seems to be a commonly known fact. That feels good.
Yeah, that one's definitely like a more modernly known.
That's cool. I didn't realize
known fact for sure
that he was in the Zelda.
Yeah, right?
That's really cool.
Because this franchise is such a huge fan base. It's so cool.
Yes. And I'm so sad that I missed the mark. And I feel like getting into it now, I'm like late. I'm just too late.
I forgot what I had to equip here. I think this is right. All right. Should be good. Should be good. Yeah, this is correct. Yeah. So I did a decent amount of RNG manip, like the Armos that I pushed onto the Switch like a few rooms back. That was also part of the RNG manipulation as well. I am still trying to carry the manip here into the next room, but for the next couple rooms. But oh well, I think it's over. Yeah, more often than not, I usually fail it. Plus, in addition, right there, here, maybe use one more seed because okay, should be good. I messed up my diagonal input there, so. Okay, yeah, I messed it up. So ideally, I would have had these guys lined up in a certain way so that I could avoid them running away from me and from being like over the water as well. Oh wow, okay. That was wild. I I had this weird like misinput. When I finally chased him down to the corner, then I tried to swing downwards and I swung to the right, and then he just like ran away from me because I got like a pretty severe misinput. Oh my gosh, I just like completely messed up this room. Alright, well, I need to do that whole thing again because I
Okay.
just left without getting the the magnet ball up there. I've never made that mistake before, but again, I practiced like the ladder. Okay, I practiced the manip a bit, and I up to right before that part, and I also practiced like the end of the dungeon, but I didn't practice specifically there, so I feel like I probably would have remembered if I just like, you know, played it, but that's my fault. It's kind of funny though that happened. So I think these guys should still be dead. Yeah, okay, cool. It's like not as bad. But that is still a pretty big time loss, regardless. So I was supposed to use the magnet gloves here to drag this ball over before dropping down here. So this is kind of a funny mistake. I feel like what's worse is that I actually got good RNG on this Stalfos' position. Or Armos' position. Like these statue guys. Because it was right beside the switch, and now that I'm back here again, it's like on the complete opposite like side of where I want it to be. So I got punished pretty hard for that mistake. Oh well, it is what it is. Do I have my menu correct? I might be at risk of dying as well to this mini boss coming up. We'll see though. Because I have lost a lot of health, and I usually am not good at like avoiding taking it. Avoiding taking a hit from this post sister. All right, it's fine. Never mind. She actually does less damage than I thought. So
ooh, we take those. We take those.
Yep. Even though I got hit, it's fine. I thought I was gonna. I thought she did like 2 hearts of damage with the power ring equipped, but yeah, I guess that's just I just made that up in my head. So I need magnet gloves. I need north polarity as well. And yeah, you can barely jump across this gap. You definitely don't want to overshoot your jumps and fall into the pit with like the Pegasus seeds, like movement speed. Let me grab these hearts since they were pleasantly dropped for me. So yeah, you can just stand on that pixel, and out of the pause menu, I was told both A and B to buffer. So it buffers the input for both using the Pegasus seeds and using the rock monster, and you kind of cheese that spot by just like standing 1 pixel away from the pit, and you can just barely jump across with the speed boost from the Pegasus seeds. Gives you enough distance. And now I have Rock's Cape. So this item's pretty fun. It gives you like this extra like floaty mechanic. When you this extra floaty mechanic when you jump. So yeah, you can like fly like far distances. I think the movement looks like pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love like gliding and flying in games.
Same. All right, a bit of unlucky RNG, but it's okay. So a mini boss. So both Poe sisters. Yeah, fight both of them together now. No. All right, I think. Wow. Okay, I got lucky. I've never been in that situation before. Holy moly. All right. So basically, there's a gimmick. So with the Poe sisters before, when you're in their respective room, so there's candles that were going out in each of them, and when I did the post, what the heck? Okay, there you go. Yeah, when I did the post skip, earlier in like one of the early areas, I skipped fighting the one with the sword, and so if all the candles go out there, it brings you back to the start of the dungeon. So in that mini boss fight, if they blow out all the candles, you get put back to the start of the dungeon as well. And you saw the Poe sister blow out the last one, but I also killed her at the same time. So it like didn't warp me back. I didn't know it was gonna happen. So that's why I screamed. But it worked out in my favor.
Hey, we take those. We love it.
Yep. So now I get to trash talk and be like, that wasn't even close. I'm just kidding.
No. You owned it. You did it.
It was all part of the plan.
It was.
Yeah.
Like
so I got such horrendous RNG like throughout that whole fight. So I was just like, oh wow, I can't believe this is actually going to happen. And then I barely got the last hit in, like actually wild. So yeah, marathon luck, but also like just funny outcome in the marathon. Well yeah, occasionally when screens fade in, like when you're transitioning, then you can cancel part of the fade in by opening your item menu, like pressing start. So like occasionally I've been using that to like save a few frames when I need to equip something. Yeah, so Gleeok, so again, another reimagined fight from Zelda 1. So yeah, Gleeok, that was actually such a good fight. I don't even know what to talk about now.
No, that's awesome. You should relish in that. You should.
Yeah, that was the best I've ever done for that fight.
That's awesome.
Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, like the head, so when you kill one of the heads, it'll start flying around and like shooting beams at you, but also the head will reattach to the body eventually if you take too long to kill the other one. So you kind of want to kill them around the same time. Also, I don't know why I saved there. That was... Whoops.
Safety save.
That's fine.
It's okay.
Yep. Yeah, I just kind of like forgot where I was supposed to go. I was like about to save and soft reset, as if that was like to save warp, but I was like, wait, where would I even be save warping to? I'd just be right here again.
Ooh, that was fast.
So I didn't soft reset, but I just like saved for no reason, pretty much.
Okay.
All right, so again with this egregious RNG and all these enemies, it took 2 hits, and like beforehand, I was contemplating, opening the menu again to unequip my the power ring again to like not take too much damage. But like, it'll be fine. I like never get hit here, and then I got hit twice because of how horrendously positioned the enemies were. So this jump, I love that zigzag jump. I hate trying to do it because I mess it up so often, but I like love the way it looks. Because the intended way is you're supposed to make it fall so that there's leaves over the all those pit tiles, and yeah, with all the leaves over the pits, then you can just walk over all the pit tiles. Sometimes you might get unlucky and like right by the top of the screen where you're supposed to transition, there might be a Tektite, like those spider-looking enemies will be like blocking there, so you have to like kind of exit the room and re-enter to try and like roll different RNG for the spawns. So fortunately that didn't happen, because I've seen 2 of them like stacked on top of each other in the way, like occasionally. It's like pretty rare. Oh, what am I doing here? I'm still
like, really? You're fine.
needing to remember where to go.
You're fine. You got this. You got this. This like whole like balls of fire just falling onto the town is just like, I don't know. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, right?
Kind of scary for it.
Yeah, I kind of like erupted a volcano. Whoa,
Yeah.
I've never been sniped by that guy before. What was that?
Wow.
Oh, it's a lot of, it's like really cursed with the enemy RNG. It's kind of funny.
They try to keep you on your toes. You see?
Exactly. All right, I made that dumb jump first try. I messed that up so much, but so I'm like happy that I got through all those rooms without falling into pits and stuff. 'Cause, I don't know, it's easy to like kind of like graze a wall and kind of like kill some of your speed. So then yeah, and then like you won't make the jump pretty much. Like some of the hitboxes for the walls that you're trying to like curve around, like their hitboxes are bigger than they look, so it's like easy to like clip a wall by accident, and then that just messes you up. All right, so Dungeon 8, Sword and Shield Dungeon. There's a very big skip that I'm going to be going for in here. I'm going to actually save just for safety too, in case I like happen to mess it up a lot. But the new version of the strat, fortunately, was discovered somewhat around the time that I like picked up this game. So the new version is not only a lot easier, but also it's a little faster. So it's fortunate, because before it was like a double frame perfect trick. So, and now it's like pretty lenient. All right, that room was a little scuffed, but it's okay. So yeah, using Gale Seed here to move that hard head out of the way. And then yeah, this next room to the right, I'm gonna be setting up to stand on a specific pixel. Kind of similar to when I was doing hide and seek skip. I hope that's the pixel. I might be one too low, but I hope that's fine, actually. And ice physics are weird, so kind of have to move in a very specific way as well.
Yes. Ice levels in games. Y'all love to hate them, because whew.
I know, right? Yeah, okay, I got it. Cool. So I'm gonna just open that bridge, just in case. If I happen to die, during this level, then I at least won't have to do the skip again because the bridge is active. So, oh, whoops! I guess the seed ran out like just as I jumped, so I didn't have the extra speed.
No.
No. So I was trying to make it onto that bottom platform so that I could get across this gap sooner. Because oh, I landed on the little island down there. I didn't realize when I was trying to like focus on killing these enemies. I got so trolled. That's kind of funny. All right. It's fine though. Wasn't the worst, honestly. And yeah, so I used the flute that calls Ricky to kill. So there were some Pole's voice enemies, like these like rabbit-looking enemies. They were off screen, but if you play loud music, then you'll they die instantly. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to which pattern this was. It's not good. Oh, thank God. I literally haven't done that pattern in like a month, so I was just like, I hope I remember. There's like 4 different paths you can get, and it's just random which one. And I only saw like the latter half of the path, so I was like, wait, how does this go? Because if you fail it, then you gotta reset the room and then like watch the new path happen again. So oh, I fat fingered the A button by accident. I didn't mean to use that Pegasus seed there. And yeah, so I'm throwing these crystals into these flaming pits to kind of like freeze some of the lava. I'm so scared of that blue Wizrobe as well, because I thought it was gonna like appear behind me and start just spamming shots, because that guy can sap your health really fast if he is a jerk. Also, it's kind of cheese sometimes, that minecart that I just rode. Sometimes, like, the wizards will just, like, spawn, like, as you're getting off the minecart, and there's just, like, almost no way to avoid getting hit sometimes. Kind of jank. So, yeah, this, like, end of this dungeon can be, like, really, like, janky and cheesy, because, oh, wow, that guy just walked off the ledge. I've never seen that before, either.
A lot of first-time things happening. I love it.
That's so funny. Oh, this blue one's, like, way in the way. It's blocking my path. So just kind of waited for him to move. And yeah, we're actually skipping that one red square in the room just above. I'm not gonna throw away a crystal in there. I'm gonna be skipping that one. Yeah, this room here. I'm not gonna come here for that one. So there's a skip, which is quite nice. I'm just gonna go the other way because that even though that's a little slow to dance all the way around, that guy was suspiciously in the way. And yeah, so I'm hoping that these guys don't bunch up near good enough. I got hit, but yeah, I just ideally didn't want those Stalfoses with the swords to bunch up around that hole, because when you get hit, you also drop whatever you're holding. So it can be bad if you get like chained into hits a lot because of like bad enemy RNG. I'm gonna use this Pegasus seed here because that guy was kind of in the way. Yeah. So
yeah,
I think he would have came after me if I didn't just try to get by him faster. Oh, this Keese, you jerk! All right. Oh, Medusa head, the boss. Can be dangerous if you mess up a lot, but fight is pretty consistent. So those blue balls, you'll get petrified if you get hit. And oh wow, damageless. That was pretty good. I did get kind of lucky because the Medusa head can also spawn at like one of the top corners of the screen, and like will move horizontally across the room from the top and kind of like shoot a laser beam that like sweeps across the room. Like a persisting laser. So it's hard to not get hit by that while trying to attack the Medusa head as it's like flying across.
Right.
Because you can just jump over it with the feather, but trying to hit her while also like trying to avoid getting hit is pretty hard. And then yeah, you can get petrified by the blue balls, and then like any attacks that the Medusa head does while you're petrified will just keep damaging you. So you could sometimes lose a lot of health from the fight, but usually I feel like I usually don't get hit more than 2 times if I get petrified though, and like sometimes like won't even get hit at all because they'll just like miss for whatever reason. It's like kind of funny sometimes. Yeah, so I've occasionally in runs have forgotten to come back to the Maku tree after doing all the dungeons, so it gives you this nut. I don't remember the name of it, but it gets rid of this evil barrier that gives you access to Onyx's castle. And yeah, you'll get blown away by the barrier if you go there without nut. So yeah, I've occasionally just like gone up there and then like wasted like a minute going the wrong way. It's so funny.
Oh my goodness.
In TGH's tutorial, he's like, yeah, make sure that you don't do this because don't do this by accident because it happens. And then my first run that happened, and I'm like, oh my god. Of course.
Of course. Oh my goodness. Learning runs, that is definitely like the kind of, it's exciting, but it's also like it humbles you. It humbles you real quick.
Exactly. Yeah, so all the 8 essences coming together. Oh, is it called Maku Seed? All right, thank you. Makes sense because Maku Tree. And yeah, it gets rid of this barrier. And then here's Twin Rova again. They appeared in right as I was about to enter Dungeon 6. So Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages, you can link the games together, and you can get like a kind of like a true ending, and there's like extra side quests like during your game and stuff on top of that. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, they kind of like bait you, being like, yeah, there's more that you can do, kind of. All right, so this is the final area. Oh, whoops! I didn't even go for the green. This guy. I completely forgot that he was like somewhere in the room. He was just off screen. But you really don't. You really want to like kill the green Wizrobe, because his animations are just like slower than the red one, so you can waste time like disappearing and then waiting to reappear. So yeah, here's Facade, the run back. No. Yeah, so that's pretty good RNG. Oh wow, I actually missed the final hit. I threw it too early. That's wild. I never knew that that could happen. Yeah, so those spiders can drop bombs sometimes if you need a refill on bombs, but a lot of times when you run out of bombs to kill them, then like they'll just not drop anything when you keep killing them. It's like so jank. Yeah, ideally bombs. The pattern you want. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Wait, I missed what you said.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So when you what's it called? When you I already forgot. Yeah, when you run out of bombs, you can sometimes get trolled, and you want him to do like his attack where he'll like spit flames upwards. That's like the ideal RNG. Or to drop the spiders, but there's like one other pattern that he can do that's like really bad, and I got lucky that he never did it. So anyway, time will be when I get the final hit on this guy. I think it's 9 hits in total. I suck at the stun lock as well, so I might waste a lot of time, or even potentially die to failing the stun lock sometimes, depending on like his initial movement RNG. He kind of gave me the thing that I hate for him to do as like the opening thing, but it is what it is. I didn't deal with it correctly though. All right, so I'm gonna put on the ring back because oh, of course he went to the wall again. What? Did I move too early? Is that what happened? All right, I'm gonna take off the ring again and try to jump on his hand. All right, cool. So what am I doing here? Oh, I didn't think he would. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I'm probably gonna die, honestly, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, so okay. I'm not too. Well, actually, I guess I can't drink my drink yet.
Yeah, drink some water.
It's fine. I'm not too surprised that I died, honestly. I choke that fight pretty often, and I also just, relative to like how I am able to handle the fight, I got like the thing that particularly that I didn't want every time, so it was unlucky as well.
Yeah, RNG.
What hasn't been unlucky in this run so far, to be honest?
RNG has not loved us right now.
Oh well, it is what it is. I'm also almost out of bombs now, so I will certainly need to try and farm these spiders up. Oh, fortunately, I got a drop, so. Oh, I think that bomb's gonna miss. Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, I was supposed to use a seed. Peg is a seed. No, that's fine. All right. All right, so I got to redo this fight, and yeah, I probably losing like, I don't know, close to 2 minutes from that death, if I were to guess. Hopefully it goes better. This kind of was the last thing I wanted to practice before the run was starting, but it's okay. I was a bit crunched for time, so I like tried to work on it, but then I also got kind of the same like unlucky things to happen consistently, so I was like, oh well. Oh, this is not good. So I lost so much health from missing a hit there. So yeah, because taking hits on purpose with so that crystal with Din in it, so you kind of extend your spin slash hitbox by like taking damage. Otherwise, you can use the Rod of Seasons to push away Din Alright, I think I got the stun lock this time. Alright, should be time. Alright, that's time.
Awesome.
So yeah, fortunately it went smooth the next time.
GG, you did great.
Thank you.
Hey, RNG, like, it just sometimes gives and takes. You did great. You did great.
Hey, I appreciate the compliments and everything. So I assume I went over estimate since I had a... Mostly that at the end, if anything.
Oh, you didn't. So, look at you. You did great. I told you. I was telling you, you did great.
Hey, I appreciate it. Alright, so I guess closing words and stuff. Yeah, thank y'all for having me again for... to be able to, like, you know, showcase black talent for yet another GDQ event as well. Also, yeah, everybody that's been just like giving like compliments and like, you know, saying that I enjoyed the run, like I appreciate it, like all y'all. It's definitely something that like keeps me going with with things like this, is that like, you know, I get to entertain and all that. So yeah, if you want to shoot me a follow, I'm at Ryan_Ford522. I'm also gonna type a heart in chat.
Yes. Make sure
yeah,
you
my
follow
Twitter,
Ryan.
Twitch, Instagram are all the same. Yeah, sorry about that, Sprinkle.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. Make sure you follow Ryan. That was really awesome. You did a great job.
Yep. Also, shout outs to this community for Oracle of Seasons and Ages. It's like combined in one Discord. Appreciate like all the resources that are available, and there are people that are like definitely willing to help, like in there, and like people pretty obvious questions in there. So it's good that there's like dedicated runners that help everybody. And forgot the other thing I was gonna say. Just rambling on and on.
You're fine.
I'm almost at 4K followers on Twitch, so
Yes.
y'all want to help out with that. I think I'm like 16 away or something like that, around that number. Which is cool. Like since picking up running, I'm like very close to like doubling my follower count since then. So
That's
really
awesome.
cool. And, yeah, okay. Let's keep the marathon pushing. I definitely eating up everyone's time. So
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I will catch y'all later.
It's awesome. Thank you so much for running and being here. It was a great run.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing I forgot. I was gonna chill during the run, but if someone wants to give me a sub in this channel for doing a run, I usually ask during a run, but I actually forgot during both runs. So confident someone's gonna do it. But yeah, support GDQ.
All
subs
and gifted subs do go to support GDQ
Exactly.
HotFix. Shows like this, as well as other shows, because GDQ brings you daily speedrunning content all year round. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah,
It was a great time.
sure.
It was a great time. I learned a lot about Zelda. That my Zelda facts were true, you know, and it was great.
Ooh, Vanessa sent it. Yo, thank you for the gift. Hey, beat everyone else to it. Y'all were too slow.
So we will be taking a break, and when we come back, we have more runs for you. We are getting toward the end of the evening, but we have more puzzle runs. So we will have Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. We have Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine 8-Bit, as well as Puya Puya. So grab a snack, take a break, hydrate, and we'll be back momentarily.